The macrobiotic diet for surviving infection with the novel coronavirus 2019. I am a macrobiotician, neurosurgeon, and a scientist at NIH and RIKENN. After 15 years of clinical experience as a neurosurgeon, I studied primarily cell movement for 10 years at the Japanese Governmental Institute RIKENN as a researcher, a position that corresponds to associate professor at a university. Now, during this period, I studied the macrobiotic diet for 3 years under the tutelage of Mr. Sakurazawa, who developed this diet. After that, I used a macrobiotic diet and treatment for patients for more than 20 years. Infection with the novel coronavirus 2019 may be prevented by boosting human immunity. The number of people who have died due to the new virus is relatively small. The majority of those infected recover naturally with no vaccine and no effective therapeutic methods. It is thought that the difference between those who have died and those who have recovered is immunological ability. As of this writing, there are no effective vaccine and medicines for this virus, but there are ways to boost human immunity through the macrobiotic diet. What is the goal of the macrobiotic diet? The macrobiotic diet is popularly known for its adoption by celebrities including Tom Cruise and Madonna. However, this diet has been examined in many clinical trials with good results. Furthermore, trials in collaboration with the National Institute of Health indicate that this diet is scientifically sound. One of the goals of this diet method is to avoid decreases in body temperature and instead increase body temperature. Is this diet effective for treating or preventing viral infection? As mentioned above, I studied cell movement at RIKENN for 10 years. During that time, I found that the cleavage furrow formation of cells is performed by inositol phosphate (IP3) receptors, which present have calcium stores and translocate them to the future cleavage furrow along microtubules. It is likely that actin attaches to the calcium stores. Local calcium elevation just under the future cleavage furrow from the calcium stores may cause contraction of actin myosin rings. Macrophages are the key to directly killing viruses and initiating antibody production. Macrophages are representative motile cells that engulf and digest bodies such as cellular debris, foreign substances, microbes, and cancer cells. They are also important as antigen presenters to T cells. This means that macrophages are involved in non-specific defense mechanism and help to initiate specific immunity. The mechanism for cleavage file formation and cell motility may be similar. This is my experimental result on the mechanism of cell motility using fish fibroblasts cultured on a cover slip shown above. After the cells grew to confluence, the surface of the culture was scratched using a yellow pipette tip, and the cells at the edges on either side of the scratched wound started to move toward to the central axis of the wound. The cells were triple stained for actin, IP3 receptor, and microtubules so that different colors appear in the same field. Analysis revealed that actin and IP3 receptor co-localized to the leading edge and the perinuclear area, and the microtubules extending from perinuclear area to the leading edge. This is a scratch. And edge cell is going to this direction, and this is a leading edge. This is leading. This is leading. This is also leading. And this is microtubules and IP3 receptor and actin. And actin is localized to the leading edge. And also the IP3 receptor localized to the leading edge. And co-localized with actin. And the microtubules is present in the perinuclearly present, and leads to the leading edge. So from this one, said that actin and IP3 receptor, calcium store with IP3 receptor is translocated along microtubules to the leading edge to initiate the moving. The results of functional experiment using the same living wound healing system of fish fibroblasts are shown here. The upper images show that the wound became narrow 6 hours after the scratch under the normal condition due to the cell movement. However, the addition of microtubule depolarizing agent, nocodazole, halted cell movement. This means that microtubules are essential for cell movement. This is scratched, just after the scratch. And after 6 hours of scratch, this distance is narrow because of the cell motility. And adding the nocodazole is anti-microtubule after 6 hours, not narrowed. This is another functional experiment in the same system. Injecting IP3 receptor antagonist, heparin, and green dye into the cells at the edge of the wound suggests IP3 receptor is essential for motility. The non-injected cells moved normally, meaning that IPC receptor is essential for cell movement. And these cells exhibit almost no movement. Anyway, heparin blocks the IPC receptor, and calcium doesn't go out. Calcium doesn't go out. And no heparin, only the dye, green dye, the injected cell is, this is 6 hours later of the scratch. And anyway, each cell is moved to the leading side. But after, heparin is injected after the scratch, just after the scratch. Injected cell remain there, and other cells going ahead. That means the IPC receptor is essential to the cell motility. From my experiment, that says when the sun signal is present here, the cell, normal cell, is wanted to move to the signal, directed to the signal. At first, microtubules elongated and attached to the, this cell membrane, and after that, the calcium store with IPC receptor and F-actin is translocated to the leading edge with along microtubules. And this is important thing for the antivirus. Microtubules and microtubule motors are very sensitive to low temperature. Microtubules, anyway, that in this reason, the body temperature become low, the immunity decreased. And that is very important. Microtubules are extremely sensitive to low temperature. For the triple staining of scratched and moving motile cells shown above, a special microtubule stabilizing fixation was adopted. The most important microtubule preservation method is avoiding low temperature. If low temperature is not avoided, then the peripheral microtubules is disrupted. Microtubule motors such as kinesin and diamine are also very sensitive to low temperature. The addition of purified microtubule motors, microtubules, and adenosine triphosphate to the warmed chamber between the cover slip and slide allows direct observation of motor via special microscope at specific laboratories such as that of Dr. M.P. Sheets at Columbia University. Such observations reveal that the microtubule motors stop moving when the chamber temperature decreased by just 1 degree centigrade. This finding strongly suggests that lowering body temperature is very bad for viral infection because it hinders the motility of macrophages. Macrophages are also important as antigen presenters to T cells to produce antibodies against viruses. For this to occur, the activation of T cell receptor is necessary. Furthermore, data suggests that microtubule motors, and calcium ions are all necessary for T cell activation. Therefore, the ability of macrophages as antigen presenters may be impaired by lowering body temperature. I will show you the overview of the macrobiotic diet. 1. Avoid cold drinks such as water or juice with ice, sugar, especially purified white sugar, ice cream, and alcohol. Macrobiotic drinks recommended for consumption include low caffeine varieties, nogicha in Japanese, and hot fermented green tea. Bancha in Japanese. Even in summer, macrobiotics was developed through human experience, but I attempt to scientifically explain the rationale for avoiding something. Consumption of white purified sugar easily increases blood sugar, which is harmful to the intima of the arteries and can result in impaired kidney function. High blood sugar levels also mean that high amounts of glucose may be converted into lipids that are stored in the body. Macrophages take in excess lipid, especially low-density lipoprotein, LDL, that is bad cholesterol, and then become unable to move. Instead of white purified sugar, honey is the best sweetener. 2. Hot vegetable soup is very good for raising body temperature and boosting immunity. Any vegetables should be cut and boiled, and we use fish powder and miso or soy sauce, which should be added after the stop of heating to avoid koji dye. And salt is okay. 3. Hot vegetables should be the main dish of meals. Macrobioticians encourage intake of brown rice because the capsule contains much fiber that can remove poisons from the body. But brown rice is harder and not good taste than white rice, and much chewing is necessary. I take brown rice gruel, in which heating level should be minimal, or the nucleus in the brown rice may be destroyed and the taste become bad. Bread is an acceptable alternative, but it should contain many kinds of grains. Raw vegetables and raw fruit is tend to make the body cool, especially in the fruit or vegetable in the hot area. Is not so good. Any of them. Once heated, vegetables or fruit is best. For chew a lot, it's said that chewing more than 50 times per bite leads to a healthy GI tract, which helps improve immunity. Preservatives, potassium sorbate, sodium nitrate, and post-harvest pesticide should be avoided. Massage the abdomen after meals or in the bath or shower, similar to above. And this action helps lead to a healthy GI tract, which helps improve immunity. Push the abdomen using both hands in circular motion. Massaging in the bath is particularly effective. Consume good bacilli such as bifidobacterium or lactobacillus because these are effective to suppress bad bacillus and improving immunity. All yogurts and purified good bacilli in capsules or tablets are recommended. Non-brominated soy yogurt with no sugar is the best. Onion and long onion is very effective. We roast both with a little food oil, and the miso is added after stopping heating. It is very good for GI tract. It has been said that the lotus root is good for respiratory system. Please take it much in soup or meals. You may blend it and roast it with small amount of food oil. It is very effective to the GI tract and may be effective to immunity and lung. And dandelion tea and apricot or plum extract, Japanese. Bionic X is in Japanese, are very good for immunity. And dandelion tea is made from the roasted roots of dandelion, which has a strong effect in warming the body and improving the gastrointestinal tract. Bionic X is roasted Japanese apricot or plum and is very effective for improving the gastrointestinal tract and known to have been effective in subsiding norovirus infection. Ginseng has a potent effect to the body warm and enhance immunity. I always use ginseng and royal jelly to treat MRSA and have a good result. Even cheap ginseng has potent effect to enhance immunity. But long taking of the ginseng is not so good. This has some side effect to accumulate natrium, especially for bad for the person who has high blood pressure. Exercise is recommended because it lessens the accumulation of excess lipid, which when taken in by macrophages can cause them to have low motility. Also, the accumulation of excess lipid leads to fatty liver and fatty kidney, which in turn lead to low immunity. However, hard exercise is not recommended, especially when infected. Furthermore, a late dinner should be avoided. Absorption from the intestine initiated 4 to 5 hours after eating. So, late dinners cause the state of high absorption and low consumption during sleep, resulting in high lipid. 12. An AC electromagnet, alternating current electromagnet, has a remarkable effect against human immunity. It is expensive. But by using one night, body temperature rise 1 degree centigrade. All my family uses it but me. After I had LASIK in the cornea, the visual acuity was recovered by AC electromagnet. I think that healing period. I think magnet power may enhance the movement of fibroblasts that recover the wound of cornea, resulting in the visual acuity back. In the healing period of bone fracture wound healing and shorten 1 second and 1/3. We can image the effect. We can imagine the effect to the macrophages and other immunologically important cells. Antioxidants with high activity are effective in boosting immunity. Atherosclerosis of the middle cerebral artery is remarkably improved by antioxidants alone. Below, or antioxidant accompanied by application of an AC electromagnet. This AP view as the right cerebral, middle cerebral artery, and this is horizon view. The view from the leg, inferior, and this one is stenosis. Stenosis is improved 4 months and 1 year after the administration of the antioxidant. And this is the view from the inferior, and this is 2 branches. This is anyway. This is stenotic area. Stenotic area is decreased. Lipid involved in atherosclerosis are present in swollen macrophages filled with LDL. So it is thought that decreasing the amount of LDL by consumption of antioxidants enables macrophages to move freely, which may cause a reopening of the stenotic middle cerebral artery. Direct observation of motor proteins that their movement is not smooth, and there is sometimes rest and restart. I suspected that an AC electromagnet may enhance the motility of motor protein due to the frequent inversion of magnetic power. The magnetic power is inverted 50 or 60 times per minute, because electric source is alternating current. I have data showing that antioxidants accompanied by an AC electromagnet can be used to treat lumbar spinal canal stenosis. Who could work in just 10 steps, resulting in complete recovery. I suspected that the mechanisms may be the same, and that for atherosclerosis, and thus I succeeded in developing a new method to effectively treat spinal canal stenosis. The smoke from incense, including incense sticks, has very harmful substances such as benzene and dioxin. It may be fatal to sleep in the room where the incense sticks is offered. I treated a patient who was almost died with asthma and pneumonia caused by incense stick smoke, and this contamination is spread all over the world and get worse. So we must give up to use incense. If you have questions, please ask to here.